extra long weekend. So games obviously on Wednesday going to Sunday. All right, the big five biggest games on the schedule that are not NFL games, that are not Raven games, rather, that are going on this weekend as well. So definitely, what happened last weekend? We kind of always go over that. Texans and the Chefs. Kind of what we're saying about the Texans is kind of chewing the game against the Chefs. Just kind of not enough against a really good team. Um, Look, you say whatever you want about Kansas City. The record is what it is. Like they've only lost one game. They've had a lot of close wins. Their offense is clearly not as explosive, or they're not taking as many chances. But they are, I mean, they are going to definitely be look like the number one seed. Chargers big win getting over the Broncos. The Broncos still have work to do to get in the playoffs. I think the Broncos are, it's a miracle that they're even here. The Chargers, I'm not as surprised because Jim Harbaugh is there. They have an identity. They were able to score more points, though. They were kind of like have a very conservative offense. Gus Edwards, like a running game, but you're seeing Lad McConkey, some of these guys growing up right before us. Chargers actually getting the win there, getting in better playoff position. One of the best games all season, the Commanders and the Eagles last weekend. Jalen Hurts, they're going to need him for the stretch run. So I don't think they should abandon ship on the number one seed if you can get Jalen Hurts back healthy. That mattered. But Jaden Daniels is no joke. I mean, we know this. I mean, Jaden Daniels, this is Lamar Jackson 2.0. That's what it looks like. Guy who can run with great speed, run in the pocket, outstanding stuff from Lamar as well. So I thought that was fantastic as well. Seahawks are outstanding. Seahawks are outstanding. But they lost to the Vikings. I think the Vikings may now be the best team in the NFC. Vikings, their defense is for real. I think they're all season long, and they've been winning a lot of these close games, 27-24. Very difficult to go into the 12th man and win. So they were successful there, and pretty much the Niners are eliminated. Not their year over the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, have some slim hopes of alive. Pretty much an elimination game. I think I'm not even sure the Niners were even alive when it started. I think they were eliminated by the Rams earlier. First game of the Christmas doubleheader on Netflix. The Chefs and the Steelers. Who do you hate more, Raven fans? The Chefs or the Steelers? In this one, you should be rooting for the Chefs because the Ravens have a chance to win the division if the Chefs are successful. I think the Chefs will be successful over Pittsburgh. I think their issues on offense are for real. I think they just can't, and with the issues, I mean Kansas City. They don't have any explosion on offense like they just once did. I think it's their line play is kind of suspect at the tackle spot. I think they moved Joe Tooney outside the tackle for a couple games. They don't have the explosion on offense. Their line, the protection isn't good enough. Their run game isn't good enough. But I think they seem to do enough to actually go ahead and win. It's more there than I think on the other side. The defense is really good. I think Chris Jones getting hurt is a matter because I think it's a defense. I think of Chris Jones and those other guys. Chris Jones, Trent McDuffie. I think that's outstanding. Their secondary, I think, is really good as well. The Squirrels, I think, are kind of what they are. I don't know. The thing that makes them win this game is all these games with these two teams are so close to the vest. What Kansas City's doing is what I watched Mike Tomlin Steelers do for years with Ben Roethlisberger. Win games by 3 points, by 4 points, by 5 points, by 12, like so many games close to the vest. Win games like that. Maybe the blood of a very bad team, but that's kind of what's happening in Kansas City. I think the Chefs continue to do it. They still have work to do too because they're still trying to get that number one seed. Uh, Buffalo is right on them. Uh, I think they actually go ahead and win on this game. So I think the Chefs actually beat the Squealers in this one. Here's a team actually on a real roll, and I'm talking about the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals have now can win this game, and I don't think they're locked for the playoffs, but they're still not dead yet. 7-8. Burrow has been terrific. I think like Ray fans tend to get mad that he gets more of a pass than Lamar gets, but the team is never as good. His defense isn't any good. I can say this: they've been scoring a lot of points lately. He's been overcoming it anyway, as well. Can they score against a decent Broncos defense that has been solid all year long? I think Burrow can score against anybody. I think there's four really good quarterbacks: Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, uh, Justin Herbert, and Joe Burrow. That's it. And I think Burrow is the guy actually that's going to go ahead and win this game. They're going to need it as well. The Broncos, I think, kind of are what they are. I'm kind of like more on the Minnesota thing in terms of what I thought at the beginning of the season. So the Broncos have decent defense. I think they have a good run game as well. Bo Nix, I think, might be one of the outstanding quarterback going forward. But I think the Bengals won a little bit more hungry in this one as well. Cowboys and the Eagles. There's a team also too that's been on a bit of a roll. Like we kind of wrote them off the Cowboys going against the Eagles. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to be. I'm thinking that they're going to have Jalen Hurts in this one. So we're doing this a little bit early. He's still in concussion protocol. They're going to go against Kenny Pickett. Cowboys have been playing with a backup quarterback. Anybody knows how Cooper Rush has been winning games? So he's been actually got him back to the Cowboys where they're not. I don't think they get into the playoffs. Obviously, I think they've been eliminated, but they still could have a winning season. So interesting to see if Cooper Rush has made himself some money here going forward. Hey, throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb is important. I think the Eagles, even with the backup, can kind of get it together here. Saquon Barkley is just him having a great season. The Cowboys do look different with Parsons on the field. That's a whole different defense looking like it's on the field. But I think Barkley's a bit too much like the Eagles in this one, still playing for the number one seed, even though it's unlikely. This is going to decide a lot the next 2 weeks. The Packers against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, I think is the biggest shock in the NFL this season. They have possibly, if they can win this game, they have a shot to have the number one seed in the NFC going into the final game against Detroit, and they have to win against the Packers, who I think the Packers are Super Bowl worthy as well. I think this division is terrific. I mean, they've been killing the rest of the league. You got three teams in one division possibly getting the number one seed as well. Darnold, I think, should be a Pro Bowler next season, and he's going to get a big contract from Minnesota, I would think, or somebody next year. I think their offensive line is first rate. I think Aaron Jones has been fantastic. I think their Minnesota, their rush ends, Andrew, and I think their outstanding rush ends have been terrific for them. They have great pass rush in Minnesota. So I think I like them. I mean, I think I've been kind of doubting them all season because of where they came from. But they've been absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry, Jonathan Grinyard and Andrew Van Grunel. I think that's the name. So I think we got there. I'm still figuring out the name. I mean, this team is fantastic. And I think, obviously, the monster man, Justin Jefferson, maybe the best receiver in the entire NFL. We know that he is fantastic. I don't think the Vikings slow down. I think this might be the best team in the NFC with the Lions injuries and all that, etc. I like them. I like them against Green Bay. And no offense to Green Bay, who's been terrific. Jordan Love has been fantastic down the stretch as well. Two great teams in that one. And the Commanders, boy, they are so happy here in Virginia that we have a good Commanders team here as well. That was probably one of the best games you've ever seen all season long, if not the game of the year in the NFL, going against the Falcons this week. So you got two of the rookie quarterbacks, Michael Penix for Atlanta and Jaden Daniels for Washington. I'm going to talk a little bit about Penix. I don't know if this is wise what they're doing, frankly. I think they're just they're ready to move on to Penix. They're anxious to get there. And I think they just kind of want to see it. And I know Cousins hasn't been great down the stretch. Somebody's going to be mad at me in the comments, whatever. I understand that. But this worked out with Lamar Jackson, with Joe Flacco. But I don't know if this is wise going to a rookie down the stretch for the end of the season with the Commanders as well. Commanders have been playing a rookie all season. Jaden Daniels, I think Jaden Daniels is terrific. Terry McLaurin, I got to say, I knew he was a good receiver, but watching more Commanders games this year because they've been better this year, I would say he's terrific in the red zone. I mean, just his getting his feet down in the goal line area. He is fantastic. He's not a great like separation guy compared to a lot of really good receivers, but he's terrific in the red zone, in the green zone as well. But I don't think the Falcons win this game. I think the Commanders are on a roll. I think they keep rolling, and they actually win. There you go. Big five biggest games on the schedule that are not Raven games. So we will go ahead and get that squared away. All right. So enjoy the games. Obviously, extra long weekend. Games on Netflix, games on Amazon, games on Peacock. So get your streaming services ready. Now the NFL is streaming a lot of games here. All right.